I work as a senior consultant in the IT industry. I've been working as a nutritionist for the last 10 years. Apart from that, especially on weight loss for the last 3 years. So today's topic would be cholesterol. Uh, Most people have some idea about cholesterol. They would have heard someone in their family having cholesterol. Some maybe they themselves have cholesterol. So I personally have had experience of having cholesterol at the age of 29. I have one my friend here, Manohar. I mean, I keep telling this. I don't know how many of you have heard this. I had gone with Manohar when I was working with UAE Exchange in Abu Dhabi. Both of us got our health cards, and both of us went together to check our cholesterol. And for me, I never knew I had cholesterol. I was just 29 years old. I just went for company sake, right? Manohar knew that he had some little bit of cholesterol, so he wanted to check, and it was just some minor amount that we had to pay, and we had just got our health cards. So both of us went, and when the results came, I had much more cholesterol than him. Right, so that was scary, and I was all alone in Abu Dhabi. My family was back in India, and to be frank, I got really scared because at the age of 29, and for a person who considered himself to be very active in sports, right, quite healthy, I was quite thin. I was playing cricket every day. It was quite shocking, right? But then, yeah, my family had genetically had got my mother had cholesterol, and my mother had diabetes also. So that way, it was expected, but not at the age of 29. And I was advised to start with statins. Uh, for people who don't know, my entire family is full of doctors. My two elder sisters are doctors. Both did their MBBS and then did their MD as well. And then they got married. Both of them got married to doctors. Again, both MDs from CMC Ludhiana and CMC Vellore, respectively. And they're still practicing. And my father is a what do you call it? Has a medical background. He's not a doctor. He worked in Ranbaxy. So it's a medical company, as you know. So everyone told me start statins. Statins is the medicine that you take to lower your cholesterol. But I decided to try it out with diet, and now successfully I have got my cholesterol to decent levels, right? So I'll talk about my personal experience also. So we'll start off with this video where we talk about what is cholesterol, and yeah, let's go through this video.
What is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a waxy fat-like substance. Your body, and especially your liver, makes all the cholesterol you need and circulates it through the blood. But cholesterol is also found in foods from animal sources, such as meat, poultry, and full-fat dairy products. Cholesterol has some very important functions in our bodies. The first function deals with cells. Cholesterol is an essential structural component of all cell membranes. Cell membranes are made up primarily of a phospholipid bilayer, proteins, and cholesterol molecules, which are fitted between some of the phospholipids. Cholesterol helps maintain both membrane structural integrity and fluidity. It enables cells to not need a cell wall, thus cells are able to change shape and move about. The second major function of cholesterol is that it plays an important role in the absorption and production of vitamin D. Vitamin D is created when ultraviolet rays of the sun act upon a form of cholesterol. The third function of cholesterol is that it is used to make bile. Bile breaks down fat into small droplets so digestive enzymes can come in and do their jobs. And the fourth major function of cholesterol is that it is a precursor for making some sex hormones like testosterone in men and estrogen in women. So if cholesterol is a part of all these important bodily functions, why are we as a society so afraid of it? Well, to answer that, we have to look at lipoproteins. Lipoproteins are like package carriers. The chief purpose of lipoproteins is to transport fats, mainly cholesterol and triglycerides, from place to place through the bloodstream. Two kinds of lipoproteins carry cholesterol throughout your body: low-density lipoproteins, LDL, and high-density lipoproteins, HDL. Having healthy levels of both types of each is important. Now we're going to look at two different ways cholesterol levels are evaluated. The first method is the kind of old school way, which most doctors will use to evaluate cholesterol levels. And the second method is based on newer research in the field of cholesterol. Which method is best is up for debate. I'm not trying to answer that question. I'm just trying to explain both methods to you to increase your awareness. You can discuss this subject in detail with your doctor. All right then, let's look at method 1. Low-density lipoproteins, or LDL cholesterol, sometimes is called bad cholesterol. LDL cholesterol is considered the bad cholesterol because it contributes to plaque, a thick, hard deposit that can clog arteries and make them less flexible. As you can see in this animation, some of the LDLs can stick to small tears in the sides of the arteries and eventually release cholesterol into the artery wall. As this keeps happening, the plaque starts to build up, and over time, it can get quite large. This condition is known as atherosclerosis. If a clot forms and blocks a narrowed artery, heart attack or stroke can result. High-density lipoproteins, or HDL cholesterol, is considered good cholesterol because it helps remove LDL cholesterol from the arteries. Experts believe HDL acts as a scavenger, carrying LDL cholesterol away from the arteries and back to the liver, where the cholesterol is either recycled or excreted from the body. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, the higher the level of LDL cholesterol in your blood, the greater your chances of getting heart disease. The higher the level of HDL cholesterol in your blood, the lower your chances of getting heart disease. The American Heart Association recommends all adults aged 20 or older have their cholesterol and other traditional risk factors tested every 4 to 6 years. This test will show you your HDL, LDL, and triglyceride levels. Your total blood cholesterol level will then be calculated using the following equation: HDL plus LDL plus 20% of your triglyceride level. To determine how your cholesterol levels affect your risk of heart disease, your doctor will also take into account other risk factors such as age, family history, smoking, and high blood pressure. Now let's look at the cholesterol evaluation method number 2. The main difference between this method and method 1 is that this method focuses on LDL size. Their size is often classified as small dense LDL or large LDL. Studies have shown that people who have mostly small particles have up to a 3 times greater risk of developing heart disease. To understand this in a very simplistic way, let's look at a couple of examples. Let's say that we have a total of 9 pieces of cholesterol. In example 1, 3 large particles of LDL are carrying 3 pieces of cholesterol each. In example 2, 9 particles of small dense LDL are each carrying 1 piece of cholesterol. So as you can see, in example 2, there's the same amount of total cholesterol, but a higher quantity of particles. The small dense LDL particles can more effectively stick to and enter arterial walls, contributing to arterial plaque. So let's say that Kevin has a cholesterol test done. His LDL number comes in at 95, which according to method 1 would be termed optimal. Doctors and researchers who use method 2 to do cholesterol evaluations would argue that 95 LDL tells Kevin nothing. They would say that what if a vast majority of those LDL particles were small? Their point would be Kevin could still be in a high-risk category for developing heart disease because nothing is known about his LDL particle size. You can discuss with your doctor which cholesterol evaluation method is best for you. With that being said, based on the 2 different evaluation methods, there are 3 questions we need to look at. How to lower your
I hope everyone understood what was discussed, right? It was talking about what is cholesterol, right? That was pretty clear. And then when we measure cholesterol, there are 2 ways to measure it, right? That you saw that. One measure is to just give us the value of LDL, which is known as bad cholesterol. The second one is to measure the value of HDL, which is known as good cholesterol, and then triglycerides, right? This is the 3 things that they give in the first measure. In India, as of today, only this first testing is available. But according to the latest research, this is not a correct way of measuring, right? Because LDL, entire LDL is not bad actually. The LDL size matters. And first of all, understand that LDL or HDL or triglycerides, none of these are actually cholesterol. LDL and HDL are basically like a boat. It carries cholesterol with it, right? Now, LDL is known as bad cholesterol because that is something that if it's in smaller sizes, as I told you, the large size LDL doesn't create any problem. The small size LDL can get stuck into our arteries, and it can cause a little bit of uh, plaque formation. HDL is supposed to do just the opposite. It's supposed to clean up the LDL and bring it all back to the liver. Either it is excreted from the liver or it can be recycled. We also learned that cholesterol is extremely important, right? Your body requires cholesterol. The body requires cholesterol for a lot of functions. We just learned about that. So your body itself create approximately 3000 mg of cholesterol, where a small part, 20% is created by your liver and the rest by each of your cells in the body. So cholesterol is an important thing. It's a very useful thing. Hmm. So cholesterol is not bad. A lot of people think that cholesterol is bad, which is wrong. Cholesterol is extremely important for your body, even for vitamin D production, etc. Cholesterol is very, very important. All right. We'll go to the next video. I think there are some questions I'm seeing. Let me see if, yeah. Please use the Q&A session. Now, what is the real purpose of cholesterol? Let's go to
Hey
this
guys,
video.
in this video I want to talk about the real purpose of cholesterol, the heart killer, right? Well, not really. Let's talk about exactly what this cholesterol is. There's so much confusion. People are freaked out about it because they're worried that it's going to clog their arteries. So they get their blood test, and if it's high, they freak out. Let's just take a look at some facts related to cholesterol. Almost all of the cholesterol in your body actually doesn't come from your diet. It's not coming from your diet. Almost every cell in your body will make cholesterol. So the majority of cholesterol that you have in your body is coming from your own body. Your body makes 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day. Your liver makes 1,000. The rest of the cells make 2,000. Okay. Now, that would be equivalent to a pound of butter or 14 eggs or 300 strips of bacon. That's a lot of cholesterol, right? Your cholesterol is on a negative feedback loop. So if you eat more, your body makes less. If you eat less, your body makes more. So here's the question you need to be asking. Why? Why does your body make so much if cholesterol is so bad? And by the way, LDL, HDL, the good and bad cholesterol, that's not really cholesterol. LDL is low density lipoproteins. It's a protein. It's a shuttle that carries cholesterol through the body. HDL is high density lipoprotein. That's a shuttle, a protein shuttle that carries cholesterol from the body. So HDL is the cholesterol coming from the arteries back to the liver, and LDL is the cholesterol coming from your liver to the body. Okay, and they consider it bad. It's not bad. I'll put a link down below talking about LDL a lot more, but I just want to give you some facts about the purpose of cholesterol. So why do we need it? Why is it so important? Because your cell membranes, 50% of the cell membranes in every single cell you have, it's like 1 trillion cells. 50% of those cells are made from cholesterol, okay? The structure of the cells, especially your brain and the nervous system and the myelin sheath around the nervous system. So what are cell membranes? The cell membrane is permeable. It allows nutrition, electrolytes, molecules to go in and out of the cell. It protects the cell against microbes and foreign viruses and things like that. So it allows electrolytes to travel. It protects the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal column. It actually is involved in making bile, B-I-L-E. That's the detergent that helps you break down the fats to actually assimilate the essential fatty acids and the fat-soluble vitamins. So you need cholesterol to make vitamin D to actually help make the bile that helps you absorb vitamin A and E and even K2. So these are all essential fat-soluble vitamins that you need, but without cholesterol, you can't make the bile to extract them from the food that you eat. Cholesterol is needed as a raw material precursor for adrenal hormones. So the more stress that you go through,
the more cholesterol that you're going to make, because the body needs those hormones to adapt to stress. Sex hormones, estrogen, testosterone is made from cholesterol. This is one of the reasons why statin drugs, one of the side effects is men, they lose their libido. Women have problems with estrogen and progesterone and even androgen. So there's a lot of issues with that. The cholesterol is there to make myelin. So there's even another video that I've just released has to do with MS in relationship to dysfunctional myelin, which is the lipid layer around the nervous system in the brain. And if you're actually on a low cholesterol diet, you can worsen that condition. So the cholesterol also is there to feed the immune system. Your immune system needs cholesterol to function, partly because cortisol from the adrenals is necessary for the immune system. It controls the white blood cell. And then also cholesterol is needed to fight infection and to combat the toxic effect from bacteria. One of the purposes of LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, is to, and I created a whole separate video on this, is to neutralize the toxins from bacteria in the cell. It's always considered the bad guy, but it's really, yes, it's at the scene of the crime, but it's really there to actually heal whatever is there, like a lesion or some type of ulcer. And so people mistakenly assume it's the bad guy when really it's the good guy trying to heal. And you should just say, why, if your body...
Guys, I hope you understood, right? I just wanted to tell you that cholesterol is not bad. Cholesterol is absolutely needed in your body, right? So much of functionality cholesterol has, and most of the cholesterol is created inside the body itself. The body itself creates this cholesterol, right? It's not the cholesterol that you eat from outside, right? Now, moving forward.
Okay, so I had another question from someone that wanted to know why.
So let me just tell you about my cholesterol journey. That might help you. So this is my Excel sheet. So I used to maintain this whenever I do testing. So this was when I did my first, at least I recorded my first test. You can see my triglycerides was extremely high. This is the levels that are supposedly healthy. Again, I'll tell you, if you go to history, you will see that these values have been reduced over time. Right? I remember my father telling me this when Ranbaxy, their company, came out with statins. It used to be around 400 or 500 used to be the healthy level for cholesterol. Today, they have reduced it to 200. According to him, who works in that industry, it's a scam. One of my brother-in-laws, who is a doctor, as I told you, he's a surgeon. He has very high cholesterol. He has never taken statins in his life. He knows it is a scam. Right? So again, companies wanted to sell statins, and that's why they reduce this to these levels. Right? So anyway, total cholesterol, according to 200 and below, is healthy. LDL less than 100 is healthy according to them, and HDL 40 or higher is healthy, right? So HDL is good, right? LDL is supposedly bad, and total cholesterol again. So if you remember, the calculation is like this: HDL plus LDL plus 20% of your triglycerides. So triglyceride, the value is 150. Okay, so it should be less than 150 according to medical science. I mean, so what is very clear, everyone agrees that triglycerides should be low, and everyone agrees that HDL should be high. The whole confusion is regarding LDL. There is no any doubt about these two. Right? Now, if you see, my triglycerides on was extremely high, 190, 300, and these are times where, I mean, my weight is not very high. My weight went up very high around 2017, this time, right? You can see 2017, this time. My total cholesterol went up to 248 and all, right? And this is my last report. If you see, my triglycerides is extremely low, very good, right? My HDL is extremely high. Again, extremely good. My LDL is a little high. We'll talk about this. My VLDL, which is supposed to be less than 30, is the best ever. You can see everything else is good, right? Now, I'll come to, so this is the most important thing. Your HDL should be high, and 84 is extremely good. I'm double the good value. And triglyceride should be less than 150. I'm at 81, the lowest ever that I have had. And you to understand, it is little genetic also. My mom, as I told you, has cholesterol. Now, coming to the next video, I'll talk about. See, this is the LDL video I
Today
wanted
we're
to
going to
show
talk
you.
about the difference between good and bad LDL. Now, normally someone is taught that LDL is the bad cholesterol. That's not actually true. LDL is divided between two different parts. Just so you know, LDL stands for low density lipoprotein. It's not cholesterol. It's a type of protein that is carrying cholesterol through the body from the liver out to the tissues. HDL takes the cholesterol from the tissues and brings it back to the liver. So we are so brainwashed to think that LDL is the bad cholesterol, but they're not differentiating the specific types of LDL. It does take a special test to get this information, but I would highly recommend that you do it. I put a link down below for more information, so when you go to your doctor, you can ask for this specialized test. So here's the two types. SD LDL-P. This stands for particle, and SD is small, dense. Okay, so the LDL is a smaller, dense type, and this is the type that's the real bad one that can invade the arteries deep into the tissues and create all sorts of problems. This is the one that has the oxidized cholesterol, which will increase your risk of getting heart attack by 4 times. This is the type that you normally see with the diabetic because it comes from a high-carb diet, but especially high amounts of fructose. Fructose will create more of this more than glucose. So also realize that sucrose, like table sugar, is like half fructose and half glucose. So a lot of the sugars contain fructose. And this type is called type B, just so you can actually differentiate. Now, when we get to LB, LDL/P, which is particle right here, LB is large buoyant, the large, fluffy type of LDL, okay? Type A. You're going to see this when someone does the ketogenic diet because it's a higher fat diet. When you're doing ketosis, when you're doing intermittent fasting, you're releasing a lot of fat and cholesterol from the fat cells. So you need these LDL carriers to transport cholesterol in different places. But this type of LDL is benign. It's not the type that clogs up your arteries or creates damage, okay? This is the bad one. This is the good one. I suggest do your own testing on this, and you will see that if your LDL is high, it's going to be over here if you're doing the healthy version of keto and intermittent fasting. If you're doing carbs, you're going to probably see more of this right here. The other thing to look at is the triglycerides. You want them low, and you're normally going to see them low if you're doing keto and IF, which is a good indicator because you're using triglycerides now for your energy source. Also, you want your HDL higher, and you normally see this when you're doing keto and IF. All right, so that's the summary. I try to keep it very, very simple, and I put an additional link down below for more information on this, but definitely get it checked, and if you're concerned about it, you're going to see that.
I hope that made it very clear, right? I mean, there are LDL itself consists of 2 types, right? One is called the smaller particles, which can cause plaque, and that is caused by a high carb diet, right? And the other one is the buoyant ones, which are caused by a high fat diet, right? And that is benign. That means that doesn't cause any problems. Now, unfortunately, this test is not available in India right now. This is the second kind of test that was mentioned in the first video, right? So when that test is available. But another easy way to find out that is, as he said, if your triglycerides is low and your HDL is high, that means large portion of your LDL is the type B, sorry, the type A, which is the benign kind. So nothing to worry. All right, I just want to make you understand this. Now I'll just show you one more video and then we'll go to questions. So this is a big video. I don't want to go through the whole thing.
Now here, and these inflammatory mediate.
So he's talking about how cholesterol works against bacteria, etc., which again we discussed. Yeah, this is where I want.
And it reduces bacterial virulence. Now, what about human studies? I want to go to some prospective human studies. This is the Leiden 85 study. 700 patients followed for 10 years. And they looked at whether cholesterol predicted their mortality, their cancer death, and their infection. And what we found is that high cholesterol was defined as 300 or greater, 250 was middle cholesterol, and 200 was low cholesterol. The highest cholesterol group had the lowest overall mortality. The highest cholesterol group had the lowest overall cancer mortality. Old people die of infections, pneumonias. The least risk of infection was in the highest cholesterol group. Now, I told you that brain integrity is dependent on cholesterol. In 1936 in the town, followed in 2010 when they were 70 years of age. And the principal reason that they were being followed is to see whether cholesterol predicted cognitive function. This is what happened. 300 was high cholesterol, 250 was middle cholesterol, and 200 was low cholesterol. The highest cholesterol group had the lowest risks of hypertension, the lowest risks of stroke, the lowest risks of heart disease. What about cognitive function? The higher your cholesterol, the better your cognitive function. The general ability, your processing speed, your memory, your IQ, all dependent on high cholesterol. About 300 of these 1,000 patients were on statins. Did statin make a difference in their cognitive skills? And what we find is that the 300 people that were on statins, their cognitive skills was much lower compared to their cohort that were not on statins. So this is what the standard American diet is. Unfortunately, nobody in this audience eats it. It's got the trifecta of grains, added sugar, and plant oils. And what it does is that it causes insulin resistance and causes all the things that we have heard about. But the way I want to summarize is what is the optimal diet? Whether you know, we all focus on a rudimentary fermented stomach that makes acid, or fiber for people to peruse it later. But here are my arguments as to why animal sourced food, predominantly low carb animal sourced food, is better than whole food plant-based diet in order to reduce the glycemic index.
Yeah, I think that's good enough.
In the bathroom.
Yeah, so I'll open the floor for questions. We're done with half an hour. If anyone, anyone taking statins here, please do let me know. I can talk about the side effects of statin, etc. But again, if you're taking it, obviously don't stop it. Talk to your doctor. Obviously, I don't want you to stop statins. Best thing is to control it through diet and get your values corrected. Go back to the doctor and the doctor let him stop it. Let's not stop it ourselves, right? That's the best thing. With having so much fun, won't the cholesterol level increase? I think I've answered this question, right? I got a question. So please, guys, feel free to ask, use your Q&A option and ask questions. Won't the cholesterol level increase? Yes, to some extent it will increase, as I showed you. Your triglycerides will come down, right? That's what the theory says, and that is what exactly happened to me as well. Your triglycerides comes down, your HDL goes up, and HDL is good cholesterol. So that going up, this value of total cholesterol is very funny actually, because they should not add HDL to it, because HDL is good cholesterol, right? I have a value of 84. So my total cholesterol looks quite high because of HDL, and HDL is good cholesterol, right? So your LDL to some extent goes up, but as I told you, there are two parts to LDL. The benign part, that is what goes up. The problematic thing doesn't go up. In fact, it gets converted to benign, in fact, right? So I hope I have answered this question. And what I've seen is over the long term, your LDL also comes down, right? Because that's what happens in the long term. Guys, feel free to ask questions. I've got only one question which I've answered. Anyone else, any questions, please use the Q&A. This is a new thing, Manohar. What do you call this? The secondary method, right? With the first video that you saw. Let me open that again. This video, he talks
What's
about
particle size. You can discuss with your doctor who you.
So this new evaluation method,
Doctors
right?
and researchers who.
This one is not available in India, at least. It is available in US. Maybe it is available in some very good places. I couldn't figure out, at least in Kerala, I tried multiple places. It's not available. It might come, and it's a little expensive. It's a new technology they have found out. Because right now what they're doing is, instead of just giving the entire size, they want to find the size of it. Because what they're saying is, smaller the size of the LDL, it can get stuck in your arteries, right? And that happens due to a high carb diet, that the size becomes smaller. The larger the size of the LDL, it will pass through easily. It won't get stuck anywhere. No chance of plaque formation. So the current method is where you don't, right now we just check LDL, HDL and triglyceride, that's it. But the new method just checks for LDL, and that too they check for the size of the particles, which unfortunately is not yet available in at least places around me. I just searched in Google also, I couldn't find anything. But in US, yes. In Dubai, maybe you can check it out. I'll send you this information offline, what to search for, or you got it, right? This is called -P is what you have to search for, the particle size. Okay, I hope I've answered that question. Can it be reduced at older age? Yes, it can be. As I told you, right? You move from a carb diet to a high fat diet, your triglycerides as well, you will go down. Your this thing, what you call, your HDL will go up. Cholesterol triglycerides of 407, yes, 100%. You get into the healthy weight loss program, I can bet your 407 triglycerides will come down. Okay, sorry. So total cholesterol 407, triglycerides 135 will surely come down. I am the example, right? This will come down. HDL of 37 will go up. So HDL can go up a couple of ways. Exercise helps a lot in getting your HDL up, right? So diet plus exercise will help you get your HDL up. So this is a little concerning for me. If you see this, I'm not concerned about 407. I'm concerned about HDL being low, and I'm concerned about LDL being high, provided he is on a high carb diet. I would request this person to get in touch with me or the coach and quickly start off with the healthy weight loss program. I mean, this can be brought to normal. But again, I'm sure this person might be on statins also. So please don't stop statins. Along with the statins, start the program. Maybe after a couple of months, maybe 3 months later, go and check your cholesterol and see the values. Take these values to the doctor. Let the doctor reduce your statins. High fat diet won't increase our body weight. No, I mean, high fat diet actually reduces our body weight, right? So what happens is, when you give high fat, I mean good fat, okay, again, very, very important, good fat, not plant oils. Plant oils is not good fat. I'm talking about butter, ghee, cheese, avocados, coconut oil, olive oil, etc., right? So what happens is, when you use that, your body, And with a low carb diet, okay, very important. I mean, high fat, high carb diet is dangerous. High fat, low carb diet, when you do it, your body starts burning fat as a primary energy source. So your body fat, the stored fat, gets used for your energy needs, and you end up losing weight. And that I can guarantee you, it's a proven thing, and I have a lot of people who have got benefited with that. So I think I've answered that question. Just to make my understanding clear, by the time we finish our 8 weeks, it will come to normal counts, or will make it under control. So as I told you, your triglycerides will come down, your HDL will go up, provided you do exercise also, right? See, my 84 value includes exercise. I play every day morning, 1.5 hours I play. All right, so exercise, you can follow the Reshape Nation exercise regime. That's good enough. So your LDL, as I told you, will go up a bit for the initial period, but it will take some time. In the long term, it will come down. So in 8 weeks, I can guarantee you that your triglycerides will come down and your HDL will go up if you do exercise. I hope I answered that question, Vijay. The weight loss we are having a lot of it, is it a problem? Not at all. It's good. That's what I was trying to tell you, right? If you remember, there are two kinds of fat, two kinds of LDL, right? And okay, let me make it very clear. I'll open a notepad, okay, so that it's very clear. I have to reduce this. So HDL should be high ideally, right? So this diet will help this to go higher. So it's good, basically good, right? Do exercise also. Triglycerides should be low. Diet helps in reducing this. Again, good. LDL, two kinds are there. Carb diet, which we don't do, but let's say carb diet increases the bad LDL, right? Our diet increases the good LDL. So again, good, right? I hope it's clear. Unfortunately, there is no way to test this in India right now. But best way to do that is, you know that this is good LDL if your triglycerides are low and your HDL is high. And that's a way to understand. If your triglycerides are low and your HDL is high, that means whatever LDL you have is good LDL. Not to worry. I hope I'm clear. That is the. What are the questions? Yeah. I hope I've answered that. No medicines taken already. I didn't get this question. Whoever has raised this question, can you please make it a little more clear? What do you mean by no medicines taken already? They say once we start taking medicine, lowering our, we have to continue for life. Is it true? It's true, Manohar. Until unless you do something with medicines alone, it is not possible to come out of it, right? But with diet, we can come out of it. So that's what I was trying to tell you. Continue taking medicines. Don't stop the medicines. What I'll do is it's a little late today. Otherwise, I'll just share this video with you, Manohar. It's called Statin Side Effects and what is the alternative for it, where you can get into a very good diet. The diet that you follow right now is extremely good for cholesterol. So what happens is your triglycerides will come down. Maybe after two to 3 months, you should go and test it. the triglycerides will come down, your HDL will go up, and your LDL, the good part will go up and the bad part will come down. But unfortunately, as I told you, if there is a way to test it, we could have shown it to the doctor and got out of our medicines. But unfortunately, we don't have. Maybe in Dubai, you have to check, Manohar, if you have that option. So yes, we can get out of medicines by following the proper diet and exercise. Exercise helps in bringing up your HDL. Fatty liver has nothing to do with cholesterol. That is a different topic. So we'll take liver as a topic for one of the sessions. Fatty liver and cholesterol are not related. Okay, liver produces cholesterol, that is true, but that is needed by the body. That is why the liver produces it. Fatty liver can be caused, I'll just quickly tell you, fatty liver can be caused by multiple reasons. One can be too much of drinking. If you have hepatitis or any blood, you got blood from someone else, where you had an accident or something, and you got blood transfused to you from someone else, and they had a fatty liver, it's possible that you get it, right? And lot of medicines, if you eat a lot of medicines, that also can cause a fatty liver. But again, we'll take this as a separate topic because it's a huge topic altogether. It is said that low carb will affect kidneys since certain minerals are missing in your diet. We're currently having not at all. So, maybe this is because of the news that came in newspapers, etc., regarding a actress having some issues. So she had kidney issues even before, and she was on alcohol. Alcohol is extremely bad for kidneys, and someone who has a kidney problem should not be taking alcohol because alcohol dehydrates you, right? And so whatever she did was extremely unnecessary, drinking alcohol when she had a kidney problem, right? So we are taking all minerals. So the only food that we avoid is empty calories, basically your rice, your chapati. So please do research. Find out what is the nutrition in rice, right? Just find out what minerals are you getting from rice, and also find out what minerals are you getting from wheat, especially the refined wheat that we use. And what else are you avoiding? Pulses, right? So find out what kind of minerals that you getting, or vitamins are you getting from the things that you're avoiding right now. And then also find out what are the vitamins and minerals you are getting from the food you are eating now. You will be shocked. You will see that you are eating a much healthier diet now, with all the vitamins and minerals in your diet now than before. Please do that research. I would love you to share that research with me. The current food you are eating, enter it in any app, you will get, or just Google search. Each thing that, for example, broccoli, you're eating broccoli, right? Search for vitamins and minerals available in broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Put all these things and then compare it with the old diet that you used to eat. Put it, and then see where you are getting more minerals and more vitamins. You will be shocked. Nothing to be shocked, actually. It is so obvious that currently on the diet, you are getting much more minerals and vitamins than before. I hope I've answered that question. No medicines taken for cholesterol. The question asked already. Okay. If you're not taking medicines, it's fine. You need to start exercising. No doubt about it. 37 of HDL is very low. I'm more concerned about that. Triglycerides is a little high. So this diet will help you a lot. Please, I hope you are already on the diet. If you're not, please contact the person who's invited you, or contact me. I'll help you get started. Very important, your cholesterol levels are a little high. I'm more concerned about the HDL being so low. HDL 37 is quite low. And I don't even know if it's a lady or a guy. For ladies, it can be a little lower, but it should, I mean, ideally it should be high. I mean, the higher your HDL, the better it is. So please talk to the person who's invited you. And if you're not already on the diet, please start it off. Okay. Any other questions, guys? One chat. I missed due to network abuse and recording later, now joined. Okay. Vijay, please send the recording to alka.sobdi. Okay.
Sure, Joe. I'll do that.
Yeah. I have thyroid issue, hypothyroidism, so can't take cauliflower. Yeah. No, you can't take only cauliflower. Other things you can take. Okay. Don, it's not like you can't take anything. And you should take something known as sea kelp. Sea kelp is good for people who have thyroid. Right? So see, there are someone has asked me how long do we have to be in this low carb diet to keep our LDL levels low and our weight in desired levels. See, I'll tell you frankly, you saw my levels, right? My triglycerides and all those things. Now, if I go and eat sweets regularly for the next, let's say, 1 month, my triglycerides will go up again. Right? So this is a lifestyle. I mean, I'm not saying it has to be this extreme low that you're doing in the diet because you want to reduce your weight. But I have decided that I'm not going to eat that kind of high level carbs again because it's not going to be healthy. I do have my sweets, not like I don't have my sweets, but not to the extent that I used to eat because I know it's unhealthy, right? So how long do we have to do this? Extremely low carb diet or the diet that you're doing right now, you need to do it only for 3 months. I mean, I don't know your weight, obviously, to reach your desired level. If you're talking about 10 kilos, yes, that's good enough. But if you're talking about someone who has to reduce 50, 60 kilos, obviously it will take time. Right? So I don't know what exactly is your weight right now to tell that when you will reach your desired level. And LDL, as I told you, don't worry about LDL too much, right? Because LDL has a good part, has a bad part. All your fat cells, right? All your fat cells, it is coming out now. One by one, your fat cells is getting used up right now. So obviously, when it's getting used up, it has triglycerides in it. It has cholesterol in it. The triglycerides gets converted to energy, right? That is the ketones. So that gets converted to energy. So that's why your triglycerides come down very fast. The cholesterol cannot be converted to energy. So once your fat cells releases that cholesterol, it has to go through your bloodstream. It has to go to your liver, and sometimes it gets reprocessed, as I told you, recycled, or gets excreted from your body. And that will take time, depends on your current fat, right? So it's not like this fat is coming from outside. This fat was there in your body, and that fat is getting removed from your fat cells now, and is coming to the bloodstream, and it is going to go out, excreted from your body. If your body doesn't require it, if your body requires it, your liver will recycle it. And as I told you, cholesterol is extremely needed for your body. If you saw the research, it says that people who have high cholesterol live longer. They have lesser chances of hypertension. They have lesser chances of other diseases, of infection. Right? So don't worry about it. This is a scam that has been created by the pharma market to sell statins. Anything else? Thank you, Manohar. He's mentioned, thanks, Joe. Good session. Thank you. Anyone else, guys? We have 6 more minutes. So if someone, I can quickly show you this video if no questions are
Hi
coming
guys, in
in.
this video I want to talk about statin drugs. They really have trivial benefits with a great cost, okay? Now, the studies basically indicate that 2 out of 100 people will end up with a heart attack. Not dying from a heart attack, they'll end up with a heart attack. But if you take statins, it drops it down to 1 out of 100 people, okay? So if we take 2 to 1, that's a 50% reduction in heart attacks, right? That's significant. If someone were to tell you, oh yeah, I can drop your chance of getting a heart attack by 50%, you probably would do it. But these aren't whole numbers. These are fractions. If you take 2 out of 100 to 1 out of 100, that's actually only a 1% decrease, not a 50%. So they use words like relative risk factors, and they have no legal definition. So if I were to tell you you're going to have a 1% decrease of having a heart attack, if you take the statin, you might not do it. Here's some of the risks to get this 1%. Increased risk of Parkinson's. It depletes your coenzyme Q10. That's going to actually make your heart work harder and create more problems with the heart, especially if you're getting older. There's over 300 adverse reactions with statins. Muscle damage, nerve damage, liver damage, endocrine system damage, cancer, and heart damage. So this is a huge risk. Statins block the enzyme that makes cholesterol. Now the problem is that your body makes cholesterol for a reason. It makes 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day. That's a lot of cholesterol. That's like the equivalent of the cholesterol in 300 strips of bacon, or the amount of cholesterol in a pound of butter, or 14 eggs. It's a lot of cholesterol. So why would your body make so much? Well, because it's a precursor for hormones like testosterone that you need as it decreases. Testosterone decreases with age. You need more cholesterol to make more testosterone, as well as cortisol for stress hormones. So we need that when we age, but if you take this, you'll cut down the raw material for making those hormones. Cellular membranes, LDL, that's the low density lipoproteins, okay? That's the so-called bad cholesterol. Here's what it is. It's a protein that carries cholesterol into the arteries as a healer, as a Band-Aid to patch things up. That's why you get a clogged artery, because there's a lesion there already that the cholesterol comes in and starts to patch it up. So LDL is not actually bad. It's late on the chain of events. Your brain needs cholesterol to function. Your eyes, especially the retina, needs cholesterol. Bile salts to help you digest. Okay, so you need cholesterol. And the most ironic thing is that high cholesterol doesn't cause heart attacks in the first place. I'll put some links down below. Cholesterol is a necessary thing. It's late on the chain of events, but because it's in the arteries, people freak out. So how could you have so many people, tens of thousands of people, taking this medication and buying into this whole cholesterol scare? It's one word: fear. All the doctor has to say is, what, you want a heart attack? You better take your medication. Okay, so if this makes sense and you logically want to do it, but you're scared, here's what I recommend you do. Cut down the sugar in your diet. Cut down the refined carbs. I put a link down below of the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting. That will greatly help lower your cholesterol. And once it's normal, get with your doctor to come off this medication. If the doctor still wants you to take the medication when your values are normal, find another doctor. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to take a moment out to thank you for your amazing...
I hope you guys got it right. I mean, what he meant, right? So properly follow the diet, get your values normal, and then go back to your doctor and tell him, can I stop the statins? And I expect the doctor to say yes, right? Because he just wants to see the values. And if he finds the values are good, he will be okay. Right? And if he's not okay, change the doctor. That's what he recommends. Okay, so I'm done, guys. I don't see any other questions. A couple of people have thanked me. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, whoever is the anonymous attendee. Thanks, Joe. Okay, any more questions? No. Thank you, guys. So we will have one more session next week. Hopefully, maybe liver is something that we can pick up. Please do mention any good topic that you want covered. And I would recommend everyone to do your own research. Please understand about your health, guys. Very important, right? Sometimes we just are too much dependent on doctors, right? We should read a little bit about our health. So one recommendation that I have, there is a book called What Your Doctors Don't Know About Nutritional Medicine That Is Killing You. Powerful word, right? What your doctor doesn't know about nutritional medicine that is killing you. Right? So if anyone wants a soft copy, please talk to your coach or the person who's invited you. He can share it with you. And it's written by a doctor. It's written by an MD doctor, and he talks about this concept. What your doctors doesn't know about supplements that is killing you. Please do read Nutritional Medicine That Is Killing You. Please do read that book. Very useful book. I see one question. No, no, Don. High cholesterol and fatty liver not related. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you so much, Joe. It was really a great session, a lot of value add. So thank you everyone for making out time for this session and getting educated about your health. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.